afternoon. My name is Perry Rashad Walton, and here our guest today is Mr. Duncan Ellington. But before we dive right in, we have a wonderful conversation ahead of you guys. Before we dive in, I would just like to mention some of our sector partners, which are Greater Harvest Missionary Baptist Church, Centers for New Horizons. Also, we have Recovery 2000 and
No, vision, sight, and purpose.
right.
Mentorship
So we're
program.
gonna dive right in into this wonderful conversation. Mr. Ellington is a wonderful man. He has a wonderful vision, sight, and purpose for our community as a whole. And we're gonna dive right in. So Duncan, how you feeling?
Well, I feel it's a great opportunity to be in front of CAN TV to speak my idea about my mentorship program, because I believe that there's a lot of mentorship programs out there that's trying to help the youth and motivate people in a positive direction in life.
Right.
But I feel that there's a special twist that has been given me to have in my mentorship program, which is the understanding of self in the environment and the world around you to more effectively change the world. Most people come in the world feeling that I need to get something done for my individual self and don't realize that there's other environments and other governing entities that affect your life, that steers you from left to right, runs you off track, cause a pressure against you, or even in some cases, which we would like to mostly have, something to affect you in a positive area. But the thing that happens is, in the world we live in, even if some things is out there for us to move in a positive area of our life, we don't even know how to tap into it or where it is or what type of condition our environment, our governing force would bring us into a more positive area of our life.
All right. So, what do you think is the origin? Like, where did this originated? The things that we see in our community on a daily basis, as Black people, as people of color. What do you think? What do you think that started from? That stemmed from?
Well, first of all, I believe and understand a lot of people try to dispel our passage from Africa to America through the slave trade and think that those things are in past and they're over. But anything that is eternal has a spirit. Anything that governs that spirit and realizes the time and history of that spirit will try to continually to use that spirit to continue to make a profit or continue a gain by that spirit that's developed. Now, things that are wrong and evil or oppressive in the world actually is always going to be broken by the masses they oppress. The more you put pressure on a person to stop them from breathing, the more they're going to fight back to lift themselves up. So we as a people have been lifted up from different histories and times in our history to live and aspire for a greater liberty. But then constantly as we get a greater liberty, there's those who've been watching our growth in our history and in our change and kept things from us. They reinvent the strategy to keep a continual pressure or a continual belt around us to not truly have the equality or the liberty that we should have as a people, and really all humanity should have. But we as the Black Americans been so divided and so structurally torn apart in the basic need of family structure and love and community that we have the hardest struggle in developing that power of unity, because it's always a strategy to keep that power and that unity apart.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely agree with you. And don't forget, guys, to join this conversation. You can call 312-738-1060. Again, 312-738-1060. So that leads to my next question, because I definitely agree with you 100%. We don't have really an order, and it goes far, like way back to our history, and not knowing our true identity and not knowing our true history. So starting with your organization that you're working on, what is your curriculum starting with?
Okay, first of all, my number one area to tap in is to understand yourself and who you truly are and your potential in self, which in my mentorship program, I start off with 5 personal questions that you should ask yourself. And these 5 personal questions are, who am I? Where am I from? Why am I here? What can I do? And where am I going? These 5 questions I ran across that were spoken and clearly set me to put this as a first question to ask the people, because I heard it from Dr. Miles Monroe, a minister that had a ministry in the Bahamas, who he's seemingly passed away. So it was a great opportunity to implement these questions in my mentorship program.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely, and that's great, because we do at Grand Boulevard Coalition some of the work that we've done things such as positive letterings. So what we did with positive letterings, we would have where they would just have a crime. It'd be like, that weekend or a couple days before, we'll set up shop and give away, free food. We will also give away free resources and free beverages, just to create that positivity within our community. So with things like that, do you think that that's effective? Should we continue to do things like that? Or should we dig even deeper? Should we have other aspects or other avenues that we should go past? And if you do think so, what should they be?
Well, the truth of the matter is there's a lot of things to help people when they're down and out, or when they having different issues or problems that aid or assist people in the things they want to do. But like an old adage says, you could take a person to fish and give them a fish for a meal a day, but you could teach them to fish and feed them for a lifetime. And the thing about it is that we have to access what this world and the economy and the systems of this world do to keep us from having a lifetime of our own prosperity and deliverance and ability to do things, and what in this world and system of things hinders that. In other words, okay, a lot of times they use a blame game for the problems or the situations in this, especially with Black America. Okay, we use public assistance or public facilities or services without even promoting or letting people know that there's plenty other races that benefit from this. Right. But they put a demeaning scar on us as we're laid back or waiting for the handout. No, there's plenty of times in history that we didn't wait for a handout and even rose above with what we developed within ourselves. But then that history or that time was destroyed. Right. So now we're in a technological age, and we got Instagram, we got social media, we got internet, we got all this, and we're still having to rise out of the governing forces that hold us back. Right. So I think there's a time for a new horizon. There's a time for the world to wake up, and for us to wake up as a people to not be influenced by media and structure of government that keeps us in a situation where we are unable when we are more than able. Actually, we're the strongest force that's in the earth that survived all kinds of decadence, that is still surviving and still have a structure of worry of what will happen when these people rise to the plateau of their potential.
Yeah, and this is getting real good. This conversation getting real good. But before we dive even deeper, I want to give a caller a chance to, we have a caller, so I want to give that caller a chance to, question. They have a question or comment, get a chance to join this conversation. So, caller, you on the air?
Yes, sir. But my name is Ray.
How you doing, Ray?
I always watch this program, and I'm greatly surprised and happy that I see the gentleman, the young man there, sitting, because he knows what he talked about, and the younger man sitting next to him. He's someone, and I believe every word he says. But you know what? We're fighting money for our program. I'm Mexican-American. I fought Vietnam, and guess what? I come back to a state where they take 800,000 people that don't belong here and give them the money. We would have more than enough money for all the programs, African-American, Hispanics, and every other American citizen. But we're never going to have that. We're not, and that I hate to say it, but if I was going to go to the Army again, I wouldn't go. For what? To fight for people that don't want to do anything? And African American and Mexican and everybody else, we can't get jealous because they have them? Never again will I ever say yes. That's all I have to say, and I want to thank that man, the young gentleman next to you, and say, keep talking the talk, you walk the walk, and you are very knowledgeable, and I'm so happy that I've seen this program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
So what did he make a statement about some money that's for the military?
Right, and I want to call. Are you still there, or did you drop? I think he was dropped. But I want to ask him about what people did he mean when he said the people that's not supposed to be here, but the caller dropped. So yeah, he made a comment about the funding and the money, and we would have more money if we didn't have those. I think he said 8,000 people. But yeah, thank you so much.
So he was saying that there's some there's money for people that shouldn't be here or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that I believe in the earth. If I'm not trying to be religious, but the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and humanity is the glory of God, and the earth is for dominion of all people. There's not a depletion of resources in the earth. It's a depletion of love and greed and selfish greed in the earth that divides things, that cause people to not have all that they need in whatever capacity they could give and whatever capacity they could receive. I actually believe that those who are millionaires and billionaires, they got enough for themselves. And the thing is, the greed is so top heavy that I believe that people could still be wealthy or rich and still have people have a decent living at all levels. Because if you give an opportunity to people at all levels to have a decent life, that means there's more circulation of resources, trade, and money. So what's the problem? Don't choke what's already plentiful. Let it flourish. I ain't never seen a ground stop growing fruit because you put too many seeds there, as long as the ground there. So if it's many people on the earth, that means there's many resources people to plant and grow in this earth. That don't mean it's a scarcity. It means it's a scarcity of those who pull from others and take from others.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely agree with that. So that leads to my next question. What do you think, or what do you feel that like average community residents can do to better the community and just get a start? What can somebody on the average level that's not really doing or a part of a lot of civic groups, what can they do to help and improve the community?
Well, like they say, knowledge is king. And the thing is about, I have divided what I believe is 4 systems that rule the world: the spiritual cultural system, the political social system, the educational system, and the economical system. And in these 4 systems, there's awareness of their systems and their control, ignorance of the awareness of the systems and control. So the thing that I devised in my mentorship program is to bring the awareness of that system. As far as the community is concerned, as much as we realize our choices and our visions in each of these systems, we all fall into one of these systems, whatever we do. The thing is, if we understand our contribution to each of these systems and realize how these systems work together to bring equal opportunities and justice, as well as these systems could work against us to devise a not equal opportunity or injustice in the system, then the people could rise up and fight the system. The system is not unbeatable. The captain of the ship is not the captain that stays the captain, because if the captain of the ship is running the ship into a train wreck or causing the ship to sink, everybody's going to abort the ship. What the thing is we got to realize that we as people that have serviced this world are just as powerful as the walls that hold us down. And if we come with a strategy of unity and love, we could break those systems to be more effective and more concerned for the people it serves.
Mm-hmm. So can you dive a little bit deeper into what your mentorship, which is your organization, will be doing for the community, starting with, I know we talked about the 5 most important questions, but going along deeper? What is something that you see in the long run as far as the vision go?
Well, my vision is that everybody has a dream and everybody has a vision. So I believe that putting these visions that people have and understanding how it fits in the four systems, and then understanding how we effectively have our dream and support each other, we could reach our target goal as well as be that branch of that fruitful seed to cause the world to blossom around us. The thing is like some people want to be in the spirit, in the culture or the spiritual system. Some want to be ministers, some want to be fashion designers, some want to be like, this is a media. This is a cultural media, a news stream for social conversation. So this is a cultural media that is given by a system that's allowing this to happen, that's supposed to be under the law of free speech. Okay, and then we know that sometimes the injustice system even cuts that down. But there's educational systems. Why do we close down schools? One time we got closed school problems because it's overcrowded. Now we have school problems because there's not enough students or the grades are failing. It's always an excuse for that which is needed to prosper a level of people upward, but it's never an excuse to keep us shackled. Oh yeah, we close the schools down, but these people are acting all right. They're acting like they lost or something. Education is supposed to be keeping you from being lost. Right. But we got plenty of money for mass incarceration. We got plenty of money for police officers. And we got plenty of money for drugs or guns to be put in the urban neighborhood that people that's confused or in hate or bitterment will shoot themselves or kill themselves. Right. Come on, there's something wrong with that picture to me. Yeah. And so in Vision, Sight, and Purpose, I want to bring this to light, realizing your value and your care of yourself and your value of your brother man actually preserves you as well as the other man that you love and protect.
Yeah, that's great. We also have another caller. So, caller, you on the
air? Yes, and good evening to y'all guys.
Good evening.
I want to make just a quick comment.
Okay.
And a suggestion. The comment is this. Why is it like that? I was taught many years ago, you need to learn to say why. You go all over the board, but then when you get through, you yet still have the answer. So ask yourself, why is it that way? Why is it not no kids in school? Why did you get up this morning? That's another thing that I think we need to learn more. Now, a suggestion to do in your neighborhood is so simple. See, we try to do things as complicated. We are complicated people. We make things really hard for ourselves, our own self, to do right things. What'll be a nice thing to do? Tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, you and your wife, you go down next door, introduce yourself to that person, and say your name is such and such, and here's my phone number. Let's exchange phone numbers. We can always try to help each other. And you go down the block and you do this. As time go on, you make a block club, or you have picnics for the block, or you have get-togethers, or you have his kids in the park, in the neighborhood, take them to the park. It's many things we could do to make things more considerably easy for us. You'd be surprised. You don't even know the people next door to you. And I think that is so sad. If you live in a neighborhood for 50 years, and that's another thing, there's no in the world you could tell me who's not the problem in your neighborhood. You know who it is, but we keep our mouth closed. We don't do nothing. We don't want to get involved unless it happened to you. That's what's wrong with our community. Look at your own self. Don't depend on anyone else, but look at you. What are you doing? Listen, thanks for taking this call. Let me get out there so I can hear a response. And y'all, too, have a great night.
All right. Thank you so much, caller.
Okay, yeah, I agree. We do make things complicated. Mm-hmm. And the thing about things making complicated is we don't know the value of when things was common and simple. The thing is, and it kind of even disturbs me. I'm an older person. I'm 62 years old, and I have lived through some presence of time. And I notice it's just hard to communicate with a person. They're so inundated with the cell phone, so inundated with technology, so into you could hardly speak to a person, say hi, how you doing, and even it's got so ridiculous. People cross the street with looking at their cell phone. I mean, come on, the car might be coming. The thing is, technology is good, but then we have to not lose our humanity with technology. And the thing about it is, we get inundated with things without being understanding the true heart and harmony of the song is the relationship with others.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely agree with you, but I would have to say, being that technology is overtaking a lot of, my peers and my generation and those to come, I think that's a perfect tool to use. That's a perfect tool to, get their attention. That's a perfect tool to, spread this wonderful message that we have, that we talking about, Vision Citing Purpose, Grand Boulevard Coalition, and all those avenues. I just look at it as another tool to do so, to get that message across.
Yeah, and you're right, and that's I kind of mentioned it, hit on that earlier in my conversation. It's a way to make things a blessing or make things a curse. It's all the way you approach it. Like, I have to remind my grandkids all the time, like they always on the phone playing games or looking at social media, but they get all excited and giddy about seeing what's on social media that
don't have no value.
Right, that gives a negative image, fighting or who slapped who or somebody got angry and come on, I mean. And then this be live. It don't be an act. It be actually happening. And you're not looking at a movie. I can understand when they're looking at a movie, but you need not to look at that violence in movies all the time either, because it feeds the mind with something that is not really reality when it comes to hurting somebody. And we need to just realize that we need more to use the tool of media and to technology to promote. That's another thing with the economy. The economy promotes that which is that gravitates people's ears and hearing, that's magnetize them to a cause of an adrenaline rush. But violence might cause an adrenaline rush, but when it comes to hurting somebody or you getting hurt, that adrenaline rush is very harmful. It's not a roller coaster ride. It's a life loss. It's somebody harmed for life. It's somebody put in a psychological scare or fear of their life. I walk down the street, I see a bunch of young people. I want to know if in the place I am about our young people and loving them, should I love them and walk through and smile and say hello, or should I cross the street? That shouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah,
and I definitely agree. We got to start somewhere. And I think we're in the beginning of something great, a great change. But our time is coming short, and I just want to ask you, for the people that want to get involved, how can they reach you? How can they get involved? What can they do to get involved with Vision Citing Purpose? And the same for Grand Boulevard Coalition. I'll explain that after you tell us how people can get involved.
Well, I've been having a struggle with this mentorship program, but Vision Citing Purpose is my email is visioncitingpurpose@gmail.com. You could communicate me with that. I'm building a website, and pretty soon I have that up. But cool. visioncitingpurpose@gmail.com, and connecting with the guys here, and you can TV. Will be a way of connecting with me.
Well, thank you. And as far as Grand Boulevard Coalition, you can reach us at 312-588-3868. Again, that's 312-588-3868. And also, our Gmail is gbcchicago@gmail.com. Also, our Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram. Also at Grand Boulevard Coalition. Same thing for Twitter. Same thing for Facebook. So thank you guys for having us. This has been a wonderful opportunity. It's been a wonderful 25 minutes. I wish that we had more, because this is a very deep conversation and it can go even deeper. But thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Hey, God bless.